Hey, good morning. This is video 2 in the abortion multi-part video segment that I'm going to be doing. In the last video, I talked about one side of the abortion debate is the value that we place on human life, and how from the pro-life perspective, no human being has the right to unjustifiably take the life of another human being, whether they're an infant in the womb or whether they're a full-grown adult. The other side that I'm going to get into today is essentially the value we place on individual liberty and the right for human beings to determine what is best for them and their body, especially for the rights of women, which is obviously at the forefront here, and their ability to, or the requirement, responsibility, however you want to phrase it, to become a mother and to have a child. So from a historical perspective, women for a long time have not had the equivalent rights of man. In fact, it wasn't until the women's suffrage movement in this country in the 20s that they were able to vote in general elections. They had different roles within society that didn't expect of them to do the same things as men. So oftentimes they weren't allowed into the same roles as men. They definitely weren't allowed or expected to be in the workforce for a while, at least the majority of them. I think there are exceptions to all of those things, but for the majority of women, they had a defined place. With the suffrage movement, with the Great World Wars, where men were off fighting the war on the front and things at home needed to move as they were before, and to some extent even the production and the productivity of the country needed to increase in order to fuel the war machine. Women were expected to take a more active and what was typically more of a masculine role on the home front, which further advanced their rights, because now we saw that they were even as capable, if not more capable, than men in some of these fronts. Then you had, the kind of the hippie liberation movement of the 60s, where women advanced in their feminist movements even more of their individual sovereignty and their liberties to have equal rights of man. And we've come a long way in that. The Roe v. Wade decision that was recently overturned in the courts, which I think sparked a lot of the most recent revival of controversy about the subject. The Roe v. Wade decision, which was just overturned by the Supreme Court, basically outlined that abortion is federally legalized, if I'm putting that right. So women have progressed in a way where they've been able to have more autonomy than perhaps ever before, is probably the best way of putting it. So now when the Supreme Court, the U.S. Supreme Court, reverses one of its decisions, the Roe v. Wade decision, a lot of women see that as we're reeling back in as a society the rights that they've fought so hard for. That along with that's just the first step in a line of slippery slope in order to hold women down. Understandably so, having a child is one of the most, if not the most important things and decisions you'll ever make in your life. So the perspective of somebody or a society forcing you to do that creates kind of a negative reaction amongst, this is my perspective anyway, amongst the pro-choice movement, that no society is going to tell me what I can and can't do at what stage of my life, and that in fact it's my obligation to stand against this reversal of liberty that we've had to fight so hard for as a society. I think that encapsulates the liberty side of it is the best I can, the best I know how. If anybody has anything else that they want to throw under that front, please, by all means. add it to the comments or reach out to me directly, and I can cover it a little bit more in detail in the next video. If not, I intend to essentially, now that I've laid out, I think probably the two camps, I intend in the next video to try to highlight some of the misinformation and disinformation, as I see it, that's been floating around, that's clouding our judgment on what the objective reality of the abortion debate is based on. So thanks again for watching this video. Please let me know if you have any recommendations or any additional information as I try to shape this video into something net benefit to the viewers, to myself as well. So have a good day.